Hello students, I believe you all hail and healthy. Then your exam is round the corner. Please study all the portions. Then don't pile up your work. Then today we are going to learn new topic, 5th unit prose, water, the elixir of life, written by Sir C.V. Raman. Okay, 5th unit prose, water, the elixir of life, Sir C.V. Raman. Okay, in this unit, poem and supplementary I have completed, only this prose is left. Okay, I start now. All of you flip the page number at 122. Let's take a look at the author. About the author, Sir C.V. Raman, right? Sir Chandrasekhara Venkata Raman, that is the full name, who was born on 7th November in the year of 1888, then passed away on 21st November in the year of 1970, was an Indian physicist born in Tiruchirappalli, who was an Indian physicist, okay, then who born in Tiruchirappalli. Clear? He carried out groundbreaking work in the field of light scattering. He only found the light scattering. You might have studied in physics. Okay, then carried out means accomplished, groundbreaking. Okay, introduced an idea, work in the field of light scattering, which earned him the 1930 Nobel Prize for Physics, which earned him Nobel Prize. Clear? In the year of 1930. Then he discovered that when light travels means move, okay, a transparent material, some of the deflected means focusing light, okay, changes its wavelength. Then when the light moves in the transparent material, for deflected light changes its focus, okay, that's wavelength. This phenomenon meaning fact, please jot down all these words meaning subsequently meaning afterwards, known as Raman scattering. At first light scattering, it turned to Raman scattering. Then result from the Raman effect, and to commemorate, to respect, remembrance it, February 28 is celebrated as National Science Day. February 28 it's followed National Science Day. In 1954, India honored him with his highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. When in the year of 1954, honored him with Bharat Ratna. Clear? Read all this once again. Then let's take a look at the glossary part. Elixir, it's a substance which provide immortality. Okay, and amrita. Okay, that is what elixir. A hypothetical substance believed to maintain life identity, a substance believed to cure all ills. It believed to cure all ills. Amrita. Okay. Then billowing meaning characterized by great swelling waves or surges. Waves, okay. It's a great swelling, it's a big waves. Then teeming means abundantly, plenty, okay. Filled especially with the living things, in a ground, okay. Then trickling meaning to flow slowly and without force. Flow slowly with the water, to flow slowly without any force. That's what trickling. Then precipitate, a solid substance that produces from a liquid during chemical process. The solid substance that is produced from a liquid, solid substance produced, okay, from this liquid, as per the chemical process. Then crust, a hard outer covering something. Crust means hard outer covering. Catchment meaning a structure such as a basin or a reservoir used for collecting or draining water. Okay, collecting of water, catchment. For example, river, that pond, pool, these are, okay. Then barges mean a long boat with a flat bottom. Okay, it's a kind of boat with a flat bottom used for carrying freight on rivers. Freight means goods, okay, on rivers. For that this boat is used. Clear? Please learn this new words, okay, vocabularies. It's important, have to learn that. Then read this author and learn this. Let's get into the topic. Flip the page number at 117. Okay, water, the elixir of life. Yes, can you live without water? Absolutely not, right? We cannot live without water. Water is essential part for all the living things, right? Then some warm-up questions are given. Do you think the living organism in the planet can survive without water? Why? Yes, living things never and ever can live without water, right? But unfortunately, people are wasting the water abundantly, right? That we have to avoid. Actually, water is the elixir. People are running after something. I mean, elixir, which we ever know that, right? But actually, in water, that is elixir, that is in front of us. We have to care that, right? We have to save water. That's necessary. Then water, it's a deforestation, then ill treatment, then all these soil erosion, all these factors are what is very important for this water, what is wasting of this water. Okay, so many reasons are there. Then so I'll read all these questions and analyze it. Let's get into the topic. Now read the lesson, Water, the Elixir of Life, on the importance of water, an important natural resource. It's an important natural resource. Okay. Man has through ages sought in vain for imaginary elixir of life. Man, is running after the imaginary elixir of life. The divine Amrita, a draught of which was thought to confer immortality. They think this elixir, we imbibe, it confer meaning grant immortality, deathlessness. Okay, man believed the scientist running after this elixir. Then, but the true elixir of life lies near our hands. Actually, true elixir lies in front of us, right? In our hands. For it is the commonest of all liquids, plain water, which is the elixir, plain water, which is the commonest liquid, okay, for all. I remember, here I refers to the author, okay, Sir C.V. Raman. Remember, one day standing on the line which separates the Libyan desert from the valley of the Nile in Egypt. You can look at the picture which is given below. See the Egypt, that sand, one side is filled with the sand. There is no plants or anything, right? On the other side, full of plants, filled with plants and water. So you could see the variation among these two things, right? To land, okay, Egypt and the things. Yes, so here he says, plain water. I remember one day standing on the line which separates the Libyan desert from the valley of the Nile in Egypt. So take a look at the picture carefully. Okay, the difference you could find it. Then one day on one side was visible to see a billowing sand without a speck of green or a single living things anywhere on it. On the other side lay one of the greatest, most fertile and densely populated area to be found anywhere on the earth, teeming with a live vegetation. What made this wonderful difference? See, one side, and already I told you, right? See, again one picture is given, okay, pyramids at Giza, Egypt, along with Nile River. See, one side, full of Egypt, it's full of sand. We cannot find even a single living things, right? Even plant or anything, a human being. But on the other side, see that full of water and plants, it's a fertile land, right? So what's the difference between this? What makes this? That is what asking. Okay, what made this wonderful difference? Clear? Why it is the water of the river Nile flowing down to the Mediterranean. Mediterranean, it's water, Flowing. This initial part is, the beginning is far mile away, right? From there it's flowing to reach ocean, fine. From its source a couple of thousands of miles away, geologists tell us that the entire soil of Nile Valley is creation of the river itself. This Nile Valley, it's a creation of the river itself. Nile Valley filled with the sand. How does it happen? Because of this river. That is the main reason. Okay, clear? Then brought down as the finest silt in to flood water from the highlands of Abyssinia and from remote Central Africa. This water, it starts from far mile away. Okay, from the place highland of Abyssinia. It's in South Africa, okay, Central Africa, and lay down through the ages through means a narrow way. Okay, through which the Nile flows into the sea. Yes, it starts from Abyssinia, Africa. Okay, 4 miles away. Then it's flowing. Okay, flowing through our land. Okay, then it takes long days to reach the ocean. Okay, so this on the way it takes the sand. Okay, silt sand. That is what is Nile River. Okay, this valley and all taken away. Egypt in fact was made by its river. Actually this Egypt, it made by river, the sand, okay, taken by this river. Clear? Then in ancient civilization was created and sustained by the life-giving waters which come down year after year with unfeigned regularity. Yes, year after year this rain, it's a regularity. It's happening. Okay, all the years continuously it is happening without any fail. This water flows and all the sand taken away. That is why this land, filled with a valley. Okay, this soil erosion, this water takes away the soil, so that place automatically wiped off. Okay, become valley. Okay, pit. That's all. Clear? Let me read this paragraph. Listen carefully. From the beginning, man has through the ages sought in vain of an imaginary elixir of life, the divine Amrita, a draught of which was thought to confer immortality. But true elixir of life lies near our hands, for it is the commonest of all liquids, plain water. I remember one day standing on the line which separates the Libyan desert from valley of the Nile in Egypt. On one side was visible the sea of billowing, okay, like a waves, the sand filled with like a waves, sand without a peck of green, without even single spot of the living things or a single living things anywhere on it. On the other side lay one of the greatest, most fertile and densely populated area to be found anywhere on the earth, teeming with life and vegetation, filled with life and plants. Okay. Yeah, what made this wonderful difference? Why it is the water of the river Nile flowing down of the Mediterranean from its source, okay. Source is far away, far miles away, okay. Then it's moved towards the ocean. Then couple of thousands of miles away, geologists tell us that the entire soil of the Nile Valley is the creation of the river itself, brought down as the finest silt. Okay, it's a flood water. When the water flows very heavily, forcefully, it takes away the sand, okay, from its source itself. Then from the highland of Abyssinia and from remote Central Africa, and lay down through the ages in the through which the Nile flows in ages long years. Okay, the sea. Egypt in fact was made by its river. This Egypt, that land itself made by this river only. Then it in ancient civilization was created and sustained by the life-giving water. This civilization, this living things, everything sustained by only because of this water. Okay, then come down year after year with unfailing regularity. We are getting water through rain, right? So that is why only this all the living animals, human beings, all are plants, everything living, right? That's all clear. Then I give this example and could give many others to emphasize that this common substance which we take for granted in our everyday life is the most potent meaning powerful, and the most wonderful thing on the face of our earth. See, actually we are getting water, right? So we just take it granted. Take it granted in the sense we are wasting the water. We are getting, so that is simply we are wasting water while washing or whatever else. We just let it flow, the water. We are not bothered about this water. Then it has played a role of vast significance. It's a huge significance meaning importance, okay, in shaping the course of Earth's history and to continue to play the leading role in the drama of life on the surface of our planet. See, this water, that is the main factor to live all the human beings, right? Then plants, everything. This water only gives shapes to this earth, okay, like pond, valleys, plants, gives beauty. Clear? That's what says here on the surface of the planet. Okay. Then next paragraph. There is nothing which adds so much to the beauty of the countryside as water. Countryside, village side. We could find a lot of ponds, okay, pool ponds and all. So which makes beauty, which gives beauty to this village, countryside. Be it just like little stream trickling over the rocks. Yes, rocks, we could find sometimes water, not sometimes, maximum we could find that water flows in that small cracks, okay, from the cracks. Or a little pond by the wayside. On the wayside we could find pond, okay, filled with water. Then where the cattle quench their thirst of an evening. Yes, these are the place all the small animals take water. We people also use this water for farming, everything, right? So this quench their thirst. This animal, cattle, animal quench they drink, okay, quench their thirst. Then the rain-fed tanks, this pool and pond only, okay, that are so common in South India. We could find everywhere, okay, everywhere. It is so common in our South India. Alas, often so sadly neglected in their maintenance, or a cheering sight when they are full. Yes, but the fact is actually it is ill-treated, right? People are not maintaining it properly. That is the sad thing, okay. Then there are, of course, shallow, but this is less evident since the water is still silt laden and throws the light back. See here, it is less shallow. Shallow means not deep, okay. So it is less shallow, but this is, this pond filled with this settled down sand, okay, silt laden, okay, under this pond. That is why it less deep, okay. Water is silt laden and throws the light back. When the sunlight falls, see, usually the river and all, okay, water is so transparent, we could see that bottom, okay, but in the pond and all we could not. Why? Was the reason? Because all this mud and sand and all settled under. That is why the sunlight, it reflects back, okay. See, lights back, okay. It cannot penetrate inside because under this water filled with mud, sand, okay. Then, but this is the less evident since the water is silt laden and throw the lights back, and the bottom does not therefore show up. That's why we couldn't see what is the bottom of this pond. Then these tanks play a vital role in South Indian agriculture. Yeah, I told you already, right? Agriculture. For this agriculture, this pond, small pools, these are the place what is very important, because they take water from this only. So it's vital meaning important. Then some of these tanks are surprisingly large, and it is beautiful sight to see the sun rise and set over one of them. See, some ponds, near Nagarkoil, if you visit that side, if you go on that side, we could see a big pond, okay. So not only there, like this, many places, more narrow places and all, we could find large pond, Okay, it looks very beautiful, right? So beautiful. It is eye catchy for us. Then moreover it filled with water. Okay, it quest the thirst of this, what is quench the thirst of this animal, cattle, then human beings for agriculture. So it uses in plenty of ways. Okay, some of these tanks are surprisingly large, and it is beautiful sight to see the sun rise and over to them. Yeah, it's so beautiful if you sit aside the pond and watching the sunlight and sunset and all. Water in a landscape may be compared to the eyes in a human face. This water, it is compared with the eyes of human face. It reflects the mood of the hour. Face is the index of the mind. Similarly, it reflects the mood of the water. Okay, being bright and gay, when the sun shines, the water sparkle, right, shine, so it's very happy. Then turning the dark and gloomy when the sky is overcast. When the sky is cloudy, overcast meaning cloudy, this water also so dull and calm. Okay, like that. So with that we can sense. Clear? Read this. Then one of the most remarkable fact about water is its power to carry silt or finely divided soil suspension. Yes, the most powerful thing of water is when the water, see, you might have noticed during the rainy season, when it rains, actually rainwater, if you hold on your hand, this rainwater, it's so transparent, right? But when it falls on the land, it changes its color. Have you noticed that? Yes, it become muddy. As per that land, the water change its color. Drainage, it's change another color. On the sand, it's change another color. Like this. Okay. So we could see the variation as per the land. Okay. That is what. Then here suspension. This is the origin of the characteristic color of the water in rain-fed tanks. This is what the original color of this rain, this pool and pond. Okay, because which types of sand is under that, as per that the water color is change. Okay, but at the same time river pebbles, small rivers and all, the water looks so transparent. Then this color varies with the nature of the earth in catchment area. Catchment area rain flows into the particular river side. See, in this water, it changes as per this area, I told you, and is most vivid immediately after a fresh inflow flowing rain. Yes, when this fresh water flowing on this ground, immediately this color changes. So as per that we can understand. So water, this land gives color to the water. So automatically this water, when it increases force, when it's flowing, it is taken away with nice sand. Okay, taken away. That is why that place become pit. You just notice that. Okay, while raining, places and all maximum become pit, because that sand taken away by this water. That's what the reason. Swiftly flowing water can carry fairly large and heavy particles. Okay, so like the small particles, this has become huge one, right? Like this sand and all taken away. That is what the earth landscape, everything changes because of this water. This water only gives shapes. Okay, the finest particle, however, remain floating within the liquid in spite of their greater density and are carried a great distance. So this less weight, right? It's not heavy. So finest the sand, it's taken away with this water, right? If the water comes very force, large amount of sand is taken away, right? Yeah, that is what. Then taken away in a large distance. Clear? Initially I told Abyssinia, South Africa. From there it is taking, okay, this water flowing from there. So from this far away places, the sand, everything taken. Okay. Then such particles are of course extremely small. This less weight, the silt, the sand is very small, less weight. Very small particle, extremely small, but their number is also great and incredibly large amount. But its number is incredibly large amount, and also great and of solid matter can be transported in this way. So in this way, this large number of sand is transported. Okay, it is taken away and to another place. Clear? That is what water doing this great thing. Okay, it is taken away the sand with this nice sand. Then it deposits somewhere. Okay, clear this much? Then let me read. I give this example and could give many other to emphasize. Please, all of you have to read this lesson 2-3 times, then only you can understand. A common substance which we take for granted in our everyday life is the most potent meaning powerful, and the most wonderful thing on the face of the earth. It has played a role of vast significance in shaping the course of the earth's history and continues to play the leading role in the drama of life on the surface of our planet. There is nothing which adds so much to the beauty to the countryside as water, be it just a little stream trickling over the rocks or a little pond by the wayside, where the cattle quench their thirst of an evening. The rain-fed tanks that are so common in South India, alas, often so sadly neglected in their maintenance. Yes, maximum places it's neglected that what is maintenance of this pond and pool, or a cheering sight when they are full. When this pond are full with water, it's so beautiful, right? It looks beautiful. Then they are of course shallow, not deep. But this is less evident since the water silt laden. Okay, so all the silt laden, settled under this pond. Okay, this water, and it throws the light back, and the bottom doesn't therefore show up. At the bottom we cannot see because this sand, it is deposited under there. Then these tanks play a vital role in South Indian agriculture. Some of these tanks are surprisingly large, and it is a beautiful sight to see the sunrise or sunset over one of them. Water in a landscape may be compared to the eyes in a human face. It reflects the mood of the hour, being bright and gay when the sun shines, turning to dark and gloomy when the sky is overcast, cloudy. Some questions are given below. Have to learn that. One of the most remarkable facts about water is its power to carry silt. Its power to carry, don't think just it's merely a water, right? Not like that. It has power. When the water comes very forcefully, tsunami, flood, you know that. Okay. Yes. Then silt or finely divided soil in suspension. This is the origin of the characteristic color of the water in rain-fed tanks. This gives color, okay, out of the sand. This color varies with the nature of the earth. As per the nature of the earth, color varies, okay. Everywhere we cannot see the same color, okay. In the catchment area, that pit, that pond and all, that place, then is most vivid immediately after fresh inflow rain, following rain. Immediately when the rain flows, okay, that time we can find this color changes. Swift meaning speed. Flowing water can carry fairly large and heavy particles. The finest particle, however, remain floating within the liquid in spite of the greater density and are carried to great distance. This water can carry great distance for miles, okay. Then such particles are of course extremely small, but their number is also great, and incredibly large amount of solid matter can be transported in this way. Clear? So I stop here. You have to read 2-3 times and to learn the hard words and write the assignments, okay, in your own words. Continue in the next class. Thank you.